Mr. Grumpy by Lee Daniel, art by Christine Grove. I told you I didn't want a haircut. I stared at my reflection in the window while Susie unlocked the front door. I looked really weird with my hair so short. Your mom made the appointment, said Susie as we went inside, and mom's rule. Besides, your hair looks great. I guess my dog, Tucker, agreed. He was so glad to see me, he didn't just wag his tail, he wagged every part of his body. I hugged him and scratched his favorite spot right behind his ears. Then I announced, I'm bored. You could finish your picture, said Susie. I looked at the picture I'd been making before we went out. It was a jungle scene made from cut-out shapes pasted on a colorful background. Nah, I said. I don't like it anymore. George, you really are Mr. Grumpy today, said Susie. Did you eat Grumpy cereal for breakfast? Grumpy cereal. What a goofy idea. I almost smiled. Susie can be really silly, which is why she's my favorite babysitter. Let's take Tucker out to play, she said. It's too hot, I told her. Last week Dad said summer was over, but he was wrong. Look how much I'm sweating. I held out my arm to show her. Tucker licked it. Sweat is good on a hot day, she said. When it evaporates from our skin into the air, it takes heat with it. Not enough heat, I complained. Maybe I need more sweat. How does it get on me in the first place? Susie explained that my skin has thousands of little holes called pores all over it. The pores let the sweat out. I looked, but I couldn't find a single hole. I thought maybe she was making another joke, but she said no. Pores are just too small to see. I patted Tucker and said, Tucker must have gazillions of pores. He needs to sweat big time because he always has a coat on. I ran my fingers through his fur, but it didn't feel wet. Actually, said Susie, dogs don't have many sweat pores, and most of them are on their paw pads. It's easier for you to cool down than it is for Tucker. Susie knows a lot about dogs and cats because she wants to be a veterinarian. She volunteers at the animal shelter and is always reading books about animals. So, Tucker, I said, you can hear better than me and smell better than me, but my skin works better than yours. But Susie said that dogs' skins work pretty much like ours, except for the sweating. We all itch from bug bites and feel hot and cold and hurt if we get pinched. True, I said, but I don't like getting scratched behind my ears like Tucker does. And you forgot skin's most important job. Our insides might fall out without it. Susie laughed. I just thought of a great way to get cool, said Susie. You go find your bathing suit, and I'll hook up the sprinkler. I changed and then ran with Tucker to the back door. On our way, I spotted my jungle picture, and right beside it, my green scissors. I'd been using them to cut out the paper shapes. Now they gave me a great new idea. I grabbed them and headed to the yard with Tucker. Susie was busy with the hose when we got outside. Sit, I said to Tucker, and took a bunch of his hair in my hand. Stop! Shouted Susie. What are you doing? Helping Tucker stay cool, I said. I've seen lots of dogs with their coats cut really short, but I think Tucker might have too much hair for these little scissors. What he really needs is a buzz cut, like mine. No, he doesn't, said Susie. Poodles and other dogs that don't shed need haircuts, but Tucker just needs regular brushing. His coat is perfect for keeping the cold out in winter and the heat out in summer. Besides, if he had a buzz cut, he'd have to use sunscreen. Really? I asked. You mean dogs can get sunburned? They sure can, said Susie. I pushed Tucker's fur around to cover the place where I'd cut. Susie turned on the sprinkler, and we had lots of fun running through the cold water. Susie didn't mind getting her clothes wet, but Tucker zoomed around trying to play without getting sprayed. Pretty soon, he was panting. Susie said that's the main way dogs get rid of heat. She told him to go lie down, so he found a shady spot and stretched out on his tummy. Susie and I flopped down too. She looked around and said, Someone is missing. Who? I asked. Mr. Grumpy, she said, smiling. I hope he stays away because it's much more fun without him.